Drop D, that's when you take your normal tuning and take the low E and drop it down to a D. Makes it easy to play bar chords if you're too lazy to do them the normal way. Okay, it's not just about being lazy. I used to think that when I first encountered the drop D tuning, because you could take a normal power bar chord and just play it with one finger like that, and you get your first, fifth, and octave and get very basic and easy power chords. But actually, with the drop D tuning, you have some opportunities to make some really cool chords that you couldn't play with normal tuning, because the stretch you'd have to make with your fingers to put some of these complex intervals together is just not possible unless you have hands like Alan Holdsworth. So I've got the gain cranked up here, as you should when you're playing drop D a lot of the time, and I want to show you what my top 5 favorite drop D chord voicings are. Now, the first one is very simple. It just takes the basic power chord and adds the 9. I'm not going to get into the theory aspect of what these chords are about here, because this isn't a theory lesson. We're not breaking down the names of the intervals. I'm just going to show you the finger patterns for them and how I use them in the key of D to make the sounds I do. So for this chord where I add the 9, it is just the basic bar chord, and then I am adding on the D string 2 frets up. So in this case, it would be the 7th fret on the one that's barred across the 5th. And that 9 chord makes such a nice, wistful almost, I don't know what the adjective would be for the voice of it, but you can take a progression like a... And if you do it with 9s on a couple of the chords, I think it adds a really nice sound to it, and I'm a big fan of it, especially in big open whole note type of situations where you're singing like a chorus over it. I like the 9 chord there a lot. Okay, the second chord I like is, again, we're sticking with the more simple stuff at first here, and this is where you accentuate the either minor or major third depending on where you're playing in the key, which chord you're playing, and that is similar to the 9. It's on the same string where I'm working on the D string, and if I'm doing the minor third, I'm just going up 1 fret, so it's 3 frets apart from the bar. In this case, that would make it the 8th. And then if I want to do a major chord, I go up 1 more fret, and it's 4 frets apart. In this case, the 9th. So like this. I think that when you add those notes in, instead of just if you add the minor and major in, it gets much more emotional in my view. So if you're looking for that teen angst, definitely want to use these. Okay, for the third chord here, we start getting to those voicings that would be unreachable if you were playing in standard tuning. And here I'm taking a shape that looks like, if you're playing a regular chord, this would be like a D minor 7. And I'm adding my pinky up to here, so on the D string I'm on the 8th fret. And now I'm barring with that note as the root, so it's a G with all that above it. Makes for a really nice, tense, complex chord. I really like the tenseness of that chord and just the complexity. As I said, it's almost like a fine wine. So you can also take and move that pinky note back and forth. For my 4th chord variation in this tuning, again, makes use of the drop tuning to a stretch that I wouldn't be able to play normally. And the upper part of the chord is just similar to if you played like a power chord here. I'm playing what would be an F, where I put the major 7th in. That kind of Eddie Van Halen sound. But again, I am getting the root note from the 6th string, which if I was in a normal tuning, I'd have to be all the way back down here and couldn't reach it. So when I play the entire voicing, it sounds beautiful to me. it's like really leading you somewhere. It's got a lot more emotion than just a regular bar chord. And for the fifth and final chord, this is a triad that I like to use. Not as distorted. It's not a strumming one. This one's for arpeggios more. And it looks like the basic power chord of the normal tuning. I'm playing the 5th and the 7th fret here. And then I'm on the D string going to the 4th. I can also intersperse it with the 5th fret. You'll see I'll move when I come back to it the second time. So just the basic one here. And so there you have my favorite chord voicings for a drop D, or would also work in like a drop C tuning, and something that adds more emotion, movement, complexity to what you're playing instead of just the boring old power chords. If you guys have any of your own chords that you'd like to add, any recordings or videos of them, please link in the comments below. I like to see what the people who are watching my videos are doing as well, and maybe if it's even inspiring you to do your own thing. I'd like to see what you're up to. And if you have any other questions or comments in general, of course, leave them and I will get back as soon as I can. And until next time, keep making great music. Hey friends, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It makes the whole world better.